Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Sorry, I'm a little late this morning. Had to deal with the dog and had to deal with the cat. So, good morning. Sunday, we talk about the big picture. Every time, this is how we do it. And today's no different. Now, I've had this talk before, but it bears repeating. So, I finished watching The Queen's Gambit last night, and it's a Netflix original series. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's very, very, very well done. We started watching it, in the evenings right before bed. And before you know it, we had it finished. And it reminded me of a talk that I did that I think is as important as anything that we talk about. The secret to happiness is progress, but the secret to living is giving. And we have to remember, and this show reminded me of this, that we do not do life in a vacuum. All of us have a team. We might have more than one. We might have a work team and a home team. We might have a social life team and a family team, but we all have a team. And one of the things that we have to take time to do, and during the holidays, this is a great time to remember this, is to take care of our team. If you want to do something great, build a memory. We can go along in life and hope that things happen, because at the end of this whole merry-go-round, we're not going to remember days. We're not going to remember, on this day I did this thing and then this thing and this thing. We're going to remember moments. And if you look back on your life, you remember specific moments. And a lot of times we go through life just kind of hoping that these moments show up. Well, rather than doing that, you can create them. You can take specific, intentional action to make sure that those moments happen. All it does is take a little effort and a little creativity. It doesn't even take a lot of money. It can be done with no money. But if you've got a significant other in your life, figure out something special to do for that person that's special to them. If you've got a child or children, figure out something for them. One of the things I used to do with Katie back when we were living together is we would have special days. We would have Katie days, Katie Dad days, where I would, take her out of school and we would go do stuff. We'd go into Chicago and we'd go to the Museum of Science and Industry, and then we'd go to the American Girl Store. Or we would go up to New Glarus and we would do putt-putt at the putt-putt place that's got the goats. And then we would get something to eat and then go to a drive-in movie in Monroe. Whatever. We would do something special, but we would build a memory. So my thought to you for today is, who is in your team? Who is it that you rely upon? We all have people that we rely upon. Nobody works in a vacuum. So who is it that you rely upon? And between now and the end of the year, figure something out that you can do for your team that's special. Something to show them how much they mean to you. Something that's relevant to them that they would want to do. And schedule a way to build a memory with them. And build that into your life. Doesn't have to be all the time. It can be once or twice a year. But I'm going to tell you that as soon as you start doing this, you're going to get addicted to it. It's going to become part of what you want to do. One of the things I did for my daughter is I've kept a journal for her for years that I give to her. I think I'm on volume 4. That it's about time that I always give her one for Christmas. And I kind of, as I do the journal, I just tell her how I'm doing, what's going on. I talk a little bit about the world. I talk a little bit about us. So as she can go back, she can read our progress through life. She can read our story. And once we separated and we were 2,000 miles apart, I think it was even more important for her to hear, all of that and how we're doing. That way there's something to look back on down the road. So who's in your team? How can you make them special? If you have the finances to do something really cool, like fly them off to New York, or obviously right now we're limited in terms of those things, but if you have the finances to do something like that, that's great. But it doesn't have to be about that. It can be picking them up and, going to, it's going to be beautiful this week still, go to Palisades Park in this area and bring a picnic and talk about life. It can be a special dinner. And then, if you have certain talents, maybe you can sing them a song, play them something on the piano, write a poem if you're able to do something like that. Maybe there's some game that they always like to play. Maybe there's some piece of clothing that they really wanted, whatever. Figure out what it is that they want and create a memory. Build a memory for that team member so that 10 years from now, you can look back and say, hey, remember during shutdown, we did that special thing. We had that day where we went here and went there and did this and did that. Build that memory so you can look back on it. Who's in your team? What can you do to make them feel special? Have a great Sunday, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Rebecca, Mary, great to see you. And Amy down in Florida, right? You're down in Florida? Great to see you too. Like your Facebook posts. Make me laugh. Have a great day. Take care of your team. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.